Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another comic book related movie video. This one's going to be talking about X-Men Days of Future Past. Yeah, again, I'm pretty amped for the movie. We have now got confirmation from James Marsden that Cyclops will not be in Days of Future Past. Wanted to give my thoughts. Okay, so it's unfortunate news that we hear. I will put the link in the description so you guys can check it out from the interview with James Marsden, who played Cyclops in the first three X-Men movies, of course, but since then has not returned, has not been back. I would have to say if there's one character that was handled incorrectly in the X-Men movies, I think Cyclops would have to be that one. He really got shafted in the X-Men cinematic movie universe. I mean, Wolverine is great, and he's had, a heavy role in all the X-Men movies, as well as, of course, 2 solo films. It's crazy to me that Cyclops has not had almost any screen time at all when you consider the fact that he is a mainstay in the X-Men. He is one of your main X-Men. You have, Professor X and Cyclops. And in the comic book universe, for example, Cyclops has taken over as the leader from Professor X, and within the last maybe, I don't know if you want to say 10 or 15 years or so, yeah, probably about 15 years, pretty much since New X-Men, Grant Morrison's run, he's basically become a really, really badass character in the comic books, and also has been the sole leader of mutant kind, and Professor X has been pushed into the background, into sort of, I guess you could kind of think of it as like retirement, kind of, from being the leader of the X-Men and all that kind of stuff. So mutant kind, Cyclops in the comic book series has taken over, or just in the Marvel universe has taken over as your main leader for all of the mutants, even surpassing Magneto and Wolverine and the others, even though Wolverine has his own Wolverine and the X-Men team, and there's been some pretty cool storylines of him fighting against Cyclops, them disagreeing, so them going their separate ways, which is cool. But it is unfortunate that in the movie universe for X-Men, nobody's really interested to see Cyclops. Everybody, it seems like, that watches the movies, they just hate Cyclops. They pretty much do, and I think in the comic books it was maybe about 15 years ago, or sometime in the 90s, I would say, during the Jim Lee run on X-Men and all that kind of stuff, Chris Claremont, a lot of people did dislike Cyclops because he was the good Boy Scout type thing, and you have Wolverine, who's the renegade, the rebel who doesn't listen well to authority and kind of does his own stuff. So everybody loved him. Whereas Cyclops to this point now has evolved so much and become such a cool character that he's by himself as a really, really badass leader. So it's unfortunate, but I mean, in movies you only have so much time. It's a different medium than with comic books to get the theme of the movie across, the characters and everything like that. And Wolverine is a fan favorite. So it's unfortunate that we won't see Cyclops return in Days of Future Past. Basically been confirmed, unless it's misinformation from Marsden. There was a report or rumor that he was seen on set with Halle Berry, who of course plays Storm, of course. Looks like that was not correct, or at least according to him it was not, and that Cyclops will not be returning. So there is a slight chance he could be full of it, and he could be in the movie anyway, even for a small part or something. He said he'd be open to returning as Cyclops in the future, maybe if they do another X-Men movie after Days of Future Past. So I guess we'll see. But to me, it kind of seems like if you're gonna retcon the events, or undo the events of X3, including Cyclops' death, the time to do it would be in Days of Future Past, because you're bringing Professor X back. You're going to be changing the time stream and things like that, probably. I mean, we don't know for sure, but it seems that way. And it just seems to me like this would be the time to do it if you're ever going to do it. Otherwise, yeah, I guess we can't consider it as he was killed in X3. See, I always thought if you don't see the body, it didn't actually happen. We see his visor, but we don't see him. So, you're sitting there thinking to yourselves, like, okay, so he's not really dead, he'll probably come back later, or something of the sort. Unfortunate that it doesn't sound like that's going to be the case. He is supposed to be just dead. Maybe it's just because he doesn't have enough fans. People don't care enough about the character, about Cyclops in the movie universe, to want to see him again and want to have him come back. So it's a shame. He is a very mishandled character from the books, I think. It would have been really cool to see that evolution from him as a character, going from that development of where he was at then, and maybe seeing after Jean's death a very torn and depressed and just worried Cyclops, just dealing with the events of that, and seeing where he would go as a character from that. I think that would be interesting to see. But there's only so much time, and there's only so many characters, and there's a lot of X-Men and a lot of mutants. So anyway, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think about the fact that Cyclops will not be returning. Most likely, it's probably about 90% chance he won't be, since the actor says he's not going to be doing it. So that's pretty much that. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.